Alright peeps, welcome back to Cavey, episode 20. We've got a beaver in the danger zone here. Maybe we'll pause the construction of this tunnel. Old mate, turn back, can away. This is not your time to get contaminated, mate. Now we do need a builder beaver to real quickly hurry up and get the last 10 logs in here to avoid any more bloody hour spilling. Because it's doing now, but I'm sure it's gonna come back up again. We've got logs on the deck here that just aren't prioritised to get picked up. Beavers, man, pick them up. And while I'm sitting here looking for logs, I'm trying to figure out why old mate isn't chopping down these trees until I saw he's not even in range. And I can't believe the actual noob move that caused that. Look at the positioning of this ladder here. It's blocking access to this level. I mean, that is 3 bonus logs. And instead of popping the ladder that way around, we'll do an auto rotate, pop it there. And I'm pretty sure old mate the lumberjack here can see, and I'm wrong. Cool, happy days. Looks like we can't rely on these 6 logs here. Oh, but we got 35 logs in this side platform, with only a couple of things on top. And we're probably knocking about 10 AM there, so build our beavers. I need you to not let this pool get any more contamination in it. And then let's keep an eye on this water level here on this pipe while we get a builder beaver to smash the last of that levee in there. And it's in! We shouldn't have any fears of our topping and our spilling and making all of these contaminated, because we need desperately to have these oaks chopped down, the 8 logs per oak picked up and replanted like bloody nobody's business. I love how efficient these foresters and lumberjacks are up here. The second one's doing, another one's up. Well, now we've got the mild disaster averted. Between episodes, I've been educated. Part of that education is lowering these bloody bot part factories and that. Pausing that bot assembler wasn't part of the education, but I noticed it had been built now. But thanks to a very helpful YouTube comment, I believe I've got a solution for our slow drain system here. See if we can all the way down here. Let me show you. We've got 3 water sources here at 1 flow each. That's 3. Another one here, that's 4. 5 bits of water flow coming out of here. And I am now aware that you can only flow out 2.2 bits of water flow per bit of bloody side of the map here. Therefore, it's just always going to overspill and be bloody nonsensical and just break everything. And as well, that's why it's taking ages to get the good water and bad water to flow through this pipe in between seasons. Now, thankfully for this pipe here, it's a fairly easy solution. We'll delete these bloody levees straight out of there. Up the priority of picking up that rubble. Do a quick speed 3 because I'm scared. Oh, no. All the way down to 0, and this is the big test. We shouldn't overspill anymore. Look at that. The water level guns down. And we are mildly contaminating some stuff here, but that's because I didn't have any reason to put a bloody impermeable floor on here. So yeah, now beavers, we need to pop 2 more floodgates on there if you wouldn't mind. Doing that with an absolute quickness, please. I will say I'm quite happy that the bad water spill here has gone out the map instead of gone and down and contaminating this pool like bloody last episode. But yeah, now beavers, floodgates in there right now, please. It's very important to us. Thank you very much, Lee. And now with all of these synchronised, we can go all the way up to 1, build the pressure, 100% bad water, and look at this, straight up. Actually, that's a bloody really weird fill there. What's happening? What's happening there? I need to slow that down. It's like jumping up there, you see that? Is this like, right, let's just have a quick check. These are all up to 1. Sluicy boy in here is closed. 99% contamination. Aha! We needed to let this flood out a little bit longer, man. And what I can do is I can wait until this hits 100%, which it's at now. Pop this all the way up to 1. And then, our night, we should get a tidy little flow. A nice smooth flow, no jippity jops. It's definitely jippity jopping, isn't it? Aye, look at that jippity jop. Why is it jippity jopping about? Is this back down to 99% or something like that? Aye, 99%? 199, 199. You know what? We've got 23.5 days. I'm going to let this sit here until at least 22.5 days. At like the very least. We'll just let all the water come out of this split pipe here. Actually, now it could be helpful. If we're gone up, can we see that the water's not so contaminated? Oh, well, the water level dropped, so it's going to be as contaminated as it is, isn't it? I mean, the contamination's rife down here. But before I end up forgetting to tell you the other benefit of putting all of these floodgates on. You know our cave here? The one with the U-turn that merges these two sources together and shoots it up that pipe there. Or, if it's good water, out the little sluice there into the river. Before it guns on that U-turn, it gets out this sluice. And I was trying to come up with an idea, and I do have an idea if this doesn't work here, to get clean water into this reservoir so we can bloody grow some trees up here. But I reckon when this bad tide's over, we're going to have a real quick exchange of fluids through this pipe here. And then it'll be nice clean water coming out of here and top this straight up. But for now, we need to get all of this back to maximum priority. May as well get all of this up to high priority. And if we're already 2 out of 3 on the floor, we may as well go 3 out of 3. Get some canola oil stored up, you know. Doesn't matter we didn't have an oil press. Oh, and look at this. The ever blossoms have been chopped down. That means this ladder's in. And the beavers can see it very easily there on the corner. Look at that poor blueberry seedling doing there. All dry and contaminated. And are you seeing you got an out of D in range there, pal? Well, in that case, let us give you something to D in range. Chop down those pines and tapper, get paused. Oh, that gives us 1 graft down and out of D. That means pull the old switcheroo on the priorities. Get some bonus haulers on the crack. I really didn't like the beaver sitting around D and out like. We need to get building summit. Or at the very least figure out what we're lacking. We're lacking on logs. It's always the case, isn't it? Look at this. We got 2 bloody lumberjacks chopping down all these tapping pines. We can definitely pause old mate because he officially has an out of D in range now. And this little 3x3 needs to be replanted but not rechopped. Oh, and here we are. 22.5 days. Surely. I'm sorry. Just... Sorry, we just heat-butted the bad water tank there. But surely it's been long enough where I can whap this up to 1. Pause these 2 for some more bonus haulers. Look at that perfect amount of jobs. 0, 0. Perfect. Turn the hood off. Go into speed 4 and see some smooth flow action. There we're gone. We need to leave it a day between cycles. Or at least a day, rather. When a bad tide ends, it gone to 0. And when a bad tide starts, gone to 0. Droughts, we'll just leave it at 1, because that's where it should be. Actually, let's put it at 1, just in case, because you know me, I end up bloody forgetting. And that's those 5 sources and 2 pipes sorted there. We just need to sort this one now, didn't we? The only issue over here being, I have to put a longer overhang in, and if I delete this overhang, have a look at how much gets deleted. Yeah, nah, I'm not deleting that overhang, thank you very much. Instead, I'm going to go up to the water level here, delete these 2 overhangs, and I get bloody 60 of each back and all. Beavers, pick those up with a quickness. That's very important. But instead of doing 3 long overhangs, we're going to do 4 long overhangs. And just do a quick copy and paste it downstairs, you know. And there we have it. We have 2 floodgates on our pipe system here. 1 up here, 1 down here. That gives us 4.4 for our 3 1 sources here. So we are spot on that water flow. We should cycle that water, no bother, and not overflow. Oh, you know what? I completely failed to realise, if we get in here, this bloody big tank is getting filled from both sluices. Let's quickly dip in here. This sluice here, open, 100%, all the way through. So yeah, now this tank is actually getting fed by all 8 water sources. And thanks to a wee corner of the map dam bug, we're never gonna overspill here. Speaking of overspilling and spillways, why didn't we real quickly and casually do this? Now I'm going to build this overspill here at speed 3 with 20.9 days remaining, so you know exactly how long it takes. Oh, now look at what I just found. Big aqueduct metal pillar base. We're going to be spending science points on all of these. 1.2k science, well spent. And if I need to buy this 5.5, I'll check back with yous. I am going to unlock this 1 high metal pillar though. It's a lot cheaper than whacking metal platforms on top of everything, yeah. And then I didn't end up using that stack anyway because it was in the wrong place. And unlike on top of the impermeable floors, I can actually place the big aqueduct pillar base on there. I'm going to acquire this 4x1 metal overhang here. And since I'm no longer bridging this gap here in my design, I'm going to unlock these 3x1 overhangs here. And here we're gone. Cycle 33. No bother. We do have 11 jobs, so we need to ensure that we have maximum priority and at least 2 haulers knocking about here. Oh, and here again, this is the big time. This is where we see how well our floodgates here circulate the water through, so you can see. Now, let's go and do 1 more level. Oh, I want to go down loads more levels, though, because the important stuff's going underground. But look, you can see this bit of pipe's all dodgy and dirty bad water. This bit of pipe's already cleaned up. So let's keep going underground, because we really need to know how long this is going to take to clean up and start filling this little bit of reservoir here. And there's open. 3 full days is what it takes. And we've got another bad tide approaching. How are you, man? If nothing else, we'll get this bloody thing filled up. Might take 3 full days to get, but it doesn't take 3 full days to fill up now, does it, Beavers? Did you notice this? Oh, pause, Beavers! This better be closed because, yeah, nah, I know this was a bit dry earlier. Oh, I didn't, did I? I bloody didn't unpause the forester. I knew I would forget, that's why I usually just leave them unpaused. Anywho, oh, nice autosave. Knocked me down to 0 level there. But anywho, it only takes an evening to get that up to full. With a bad tide, we're going to have plenty of water underneath the cave here. In Cavey's cave. This little section of cave's just going to get bad watered up again. Honestly, may as well just leave this open. Why not? I maybe need to think about doing something over here. You know what? I think this sluice in here is actually set to like stop at 1 exactly or something like that. 3.95. Yeah, I'm just going to deal with a little bit of flooding that happens. Especially considering it still takes 3 full days. I mean, didn't get us wrong. One like day 8 or 9 last time and it still was nowhere near circulated through. Oh, Food Factory! Pause you! Damn it! Damn it! No! No! Oh, that hurts even more. How did the beavers magically place all of this in without, like, getting it wrong and stranding themselves? Let's see, did anybody die of starvation or thirst during that speedy up bit? No, no, no. Okay, then. Oh, it's a bit uphill to swallow, but I messed up there. Beavers, you just crack on doing what you do best. Which may as well be getting this bit of food factory in. Especially since we have some eggplant storage here. We're going to have to start doing something with that soon, aren't we? Look at this, minimum priority, and we've still got a grafter in the bloody efficient mine here. Slowly but surely keeping us topped up on our stock here. Oh, and look at this, we haven't even checked on new bloody farm since I planted it. This is where we grow aubergines. This is where we grow pumpkin. This is where we grow canola, as you can see, nice and yellow. And as you can see by these little fingers here, this is where we grow soybeans all the way along this ledge. Why is the note in there? Oh yeah, nah, soybeans are too tall to be planted there. I just used a tool that's a mod that lets me think I can plant there. See, look, no planty soybean. But if I use the plant you override tool, it's like, oh yeah, you want to plant a soybean there? Nee, bother, walk it. And then now it gets planted. So yeah, nah, beaver, call Robbie them up there. Looking at this, we've got full soybean storage. What are we empty on here? We're only empty on these two because I've got it paused. Kohlrabies yet again. Beavers love kohlrabies even when they've got... Ooh. Maybe beavers don't have heaps of options. Let's swap the smelter workplaces room so we're at least somewhat using this. And get the fermenter on and all. And I think what we should store up in here... regular old soybeans. That means that this is going to have to be eggplant storage. So we can have eggplant rations here. And then this one's going to have to be fermented soybeans. Now we almost ran out of water there. We do need to get our water slurping situation situated. But it looks like the beavers are making a little bit of progress on there. Like I said, we need to get this situated, so we'll get it a little bit up in the priorities. Just a little bit though, not all the way. I'd still much rather the beavers get this bit of power in. Because as soon as this bit of power here's in and the food factory's reinstated, we're going to have power here. We can put the smelter down there. We can finally delete this temporary smelter. Get an irrigation barrier doing so we can replace these pines with oaks and be a little bit more efficient with our wood farming over here. You know what, let's do a little speedy up bit of the tide changing and the pipe flowing red. We've never seen the pipe actually change over and flow like this. I think it's got to be mental and probably happen pretty darn quickly. That was literally instantaneous. Actually instant. With the like tide change lag that happens. That was actually instant. Alright then, I guess that's that. Now that would have been a 17-day bad tide. It's been an entire day. What's the contamination like on this sluice here? 100%. Right, now... Oh, I didn't do it over here. I didn't do it over here. We're going to have dodgy water. Let's check the contamination on this sluice up in here. 100%. We are mildly contaminated in here. Did it bloody go over the top again? We're going to have to check that out. But for now, get that up to 1 before I forget. We still got a full tank of bad water, so these can be paused. We'll watch the water level rise up in here. Nee bother, it's straight up. And look at all of these trees we're growing this bad tide. And yes, this is essentially a drought now down here. Essentially a drought. A drought in which we grow all the aubergines. Oh my, the beavers have actually went and built a minimum priority build. Well, we're going to have to sort this out, aren't we? Give them something to do. Looks like I'm going to finish me spillway this bad tide. Once again, not turning off speed 3. I'm unlocking a 3x3. The science points are going well doing this ep. And we're going to unlock the 6x1 for 3.2k science. And somehow I just realised that we are dipping into our berry supply. So let's get fermenting and rationing. Oh, cycle 44. Let me quickly pop some impermeable floors down here. Very important. We have 2 unpowered food factories. You know what that means? We can unpause this wood workshop and pause... Well, this one's already paused, but... We can delete this wood workshop here. Delete this bloody smelting room here. Unpause this smelter down here. Ask the beavers to pick up all the rubble I've just created here. And before we forget, we need to pop an impermeable floor right there. And the reason we need to do that is there's a little bit of water source action contaminating this bit of ground here whenever there's bad water knocking about. So get that in, beavers, where the next metal block is produced. Do you know what? We are flying through the dynamite like. Do I have backup water? I've got heaps of backup water. It's full. Let's guess. Are you paused by any chance, pal? Every time. It's always my fault. Every time. Now, our food situation has got somewhat better during that little bad tide there when I unpaused things. And while I was doing that hopeful speedy up bit there that never occurred, because I don't think we got any builders, I realised we could delete that power shaft and get that path back on the gun. Alright, builders. Yous do exist. What are yous doing? Oh, you got this bad lad in? Are you just needing the platform, aren't you? For some reason that isn't maximum priority. But yeah, now get that platform in, beavers. Can't believe this irrigation barrier hasn't been built yet, like. Especially considering I've finished me big hour spill here. Look at this bad lad. It comes through the corner here. Splits off into 2. Where we've got dams in the middle on both sides that allow water to push down all the way through where the water slurpers slurp it up from. And then just cause I've got a dam over here that's directly above this bit ladder. And I've got a dam over here that's directly above this water spout. So this top hour spill will spill into the river and both of these little side pools. And as well, both of those little side pools have sluices on anyway, so it's all G. It is a proper little masterpiece. It's going to be mental when it's all said and done. And I cannot wait to see these big aqueduct metal pillars on the crack like. They'll look mental. I've popped little supports, little footers on there, which look a bit wimpy when you see the big bolts that are keeping that on. But I did manage to pick a design that puts a bridge over the little grape farm there. And for you OCD peeps out there, you see how the pillars are misaligned there on that side. And if we have a look from this little angle here, you can see all the bases are at different heights and everything, man. Oh, but it's all for a reason. All for a very particular reason. It all works out perfectly. So does that set your OCD off? Or because it's all done for a very particular reason? Are you like, yeah, nah, it's all good, MiGly? And I was tempted to do a 3x3 here, but I decided to go 3x5 in the vague hopes that I can go into well-being rooftop terrace. Oh, I can! The rooftop terrace from under the aqueducts. Well, let's path this up. I think we've got to have something along the edge here. But first, let's figure out how we're going to put access in this. Because I have a feeling if I put a platform on the side here, it's going to crash straight into the pillar. Aye, look at that. It won't let us place it on the middle there. That pillar lines perfectly up with the bloody ladders. How dare you line up so well? So if I plonk a side platform on here, which just so happens to be the right level, I believe. That is indeed the correct level. The only issue being, there's a bit of a gap. Therefore, we're going to be moving this far along platform. Down to the edge of this warehouse. Oh, we got a drought! Oh, lovely, jubbly. Well, let us real casually before we end up forgetting. Get that little platform on there so we can connect it up. Not forgetting the path down here, of course. Oh! And also not forgetting the platform down here, of course. But now we know which way beavers are going to be entering to get into this rooftop terrace here. We can delete this bit path here. Force beavers to take a right turn there so they can have a look at the beaver bus that we're going to pop down. And you know how much I love me brazier, so we're going to have one of them under there. And then I think we're just going to very simply set it off with a couple of benches and a shrub. I was going to say lantern, but we've already got a light source there with the brazier. Now, isn't that a bloody lovely hangout spot right there for the beavers? And as you can see, we're only in day 3, so we've got some dodgy, slimy bad water coming out still. And let's follow that back. It's just getting worse and worse until we get underground. And then you can see it's actually a little bit better there. We're just pushing all the bad water out of this little bit of overspill here. Well, blocked off overspill, so it's not really an overspill, is it? The reason I say overspill is the water from the U-turn there, it goes underneath, and then due to pressure, doubles back on itself. So you get a bit of a sticky bit here. Tell you what though, this dry hillside, it does sadden me. Almost as much as having 4 builders and still not having this one bloody metal block in. I mean, the wheels are spinning. Oh, bloody barely, like. They're barely spinning. This one actually stopped. I have a feeling I've temporarily broken the power down here, and there's not quite enough flow to keep up with the... Look at this, the wheel's barely overtopping, man. How is that? That's closed. Ah, we're not getting anything out of this sluice here. Yeah, what I could do, actually, I could probably just open this bad lad. Hoi loads and loads of water out. And that'll clean this bit of water even quicker. Look, let's go and do, and you'll see this pipe will start flowing the other way now. There you see, now we've got the good water flowing down out of here and flooding everything. Oh, we filled this up, happy days. See, we just get a free refill on everything when we do that. Alright, let's close this. We may as well flood the caves for this bit bad tide. And to be fair, we're not only flooding the cave, we're flooding all the pipes, all the way to the tippity top here. We are storing heaps of water here during this drought, and that automatically goes up to 1. You know what? I'm going to put that up to 1 now. The water that's in this little system is going nowhere. It has nowhere to go. You'll see it very quickly start flying up this bit pipe here. There you see, it's all the way to the top, but it's got nowhere to go. So we are just building more and more pressure. Look, we've actually got back pressure on the gun here from the pipes, all up in these caves. Hopefully not too much pressure. I didn't want the cave to explode and Cavey to go sky high, you know? What's the crack here? Why are you saying you got no power? Oh, that's right. Yeah, no, that's fair dinkum, pal. Let's get our smelter on the crack. And I believe, if I turn the hot off, we're still going to be in a temperate season by the time this big smelter's in. And it's in while we're still in a temperate season. I do want to go through, make sure all of these are prioritised by haulers here. Aye. Oh, no, we knocked the treated planker out of here. I can actually put this stuff back in. Oh, it's been a few episodes since we've had these platforms in. Yeah, now, Beavers, a little high priority job for you there when you get run to it. And if you work in these two buildings, you want to hope you enjoy the fumes of scrap metal being turned into metal, because that's right at your front door. We'll have to check that when these are built, like. Oh, we need to be unpausing the tapas shack though. Get old mate cracking along there. Or at least in the drought when we pause all the water pumpers we will. You know what I just realised when I was yapping on about having all the caves stored up, big high pressure water system. And all of the pipes all the way to the top. All of that water, because it's all clean during a drought, it's going to end up coming out of here and keeping this little bit of reservoir full. Oh, big tree growth time. I'm keen for this drought, like. What I'm not keen about is why isn't this bad lad planted? How can ye not see? And how can ye not see? If I knew that was going to happen, I would have put bloody ladders in here instead of a metal brace. Nah, I wouldn't have. It would have looked naff. But I genuinely don't understand how this forester here can't see this anymore. Like, their pathing to it hasn't changed. Oh, it's on a different level to this. And therefore their pathing to this has changed rather significantly. Well, I'll see if we've got some tree growth there that's just not happening. Build up beavers, slap a bloody couple of ladders on there, and I'll happily plant 2 ladders for the sake of 3 tree grows. I never unpaused the explosives factory, did I? There we go. Beaver, get grafting in there. I'm going to switch this fermenter on, and I'm just going to pause these because I'll end up bloody forgetting during this drought. We've got 21 logs, we should be able to keep everything burning for a wee while at least. And you know what? Because the cave's all safe, we can open it to beaver access. And look at that, underneath that big scrap pile there, we have a hole in. Beavers can get down and start building these ladders up here. Which is good, because that's what these side platforms connect to. Well, that's if we choose to ignore this bit of ladder system that we've got going on down here. That lets you in there. But it doesn't have any paths on, because I deleted them, didn't I? The first time we started flooding down here, I got a bit skitsy and deleted them all. You know what this could be a perfect spot for? How didn't I think of this earlier? Couple of medical beds down here. If you want to rest and recover in peace, you can get yourself in the cave. Right, them 2 get built. These 2 get deleted, because this is a leisure area here, as you can see by the leisure happening. Morning, beavers! Welcome to the drought! And I hope yous go down both stairs. Yous stay straight doing the ladders. In a 20-day drought, that's nout. These unemployed beavers couldn't care less. But I certainly could. Become haulers, unemployed beavers. Get the strap on your back and stop exercising. And let's take the terrain doing a bit here. Oh, look at that. We've got a full bloody tank of water there. All the way up to level 21. So what's the level that it actually escapes at and stops going at? Level 6 is where the sluice is at. Oh, well, 7 technically if you go by the top. And you can see it just opened and closed there. It's keeping it all topped up, and we've got all the water to keep it topped up with. Oh, I found a spot where we can see it all in one shot. So this is height 7 here where the water is. And then if we zoom out, we've got height 21 up there, height 7 down there. Look at all that water pressure just gone down all the way through every single bit of pipe here, all the way through the cave, down to there. You're going to be able to shack all the pines you want, pal. And you know what, since I'm confident in that little bit of irrigation placement, it's oak time up in here. Water treated planks, we've got no treated planks whatsoever. no reason for you to be getting injured. And we can unpause the wood workshop up here. But I'm glad we had these 3 sciencers cracking about this whole episode. Like, without them, we would have no science left with all those metal platforms I unlocked to design and build all of this dodgy little lava spill here. I do still love it though, however dodgy it may be. And I do have impermeable floors up in here. You just can't see most of them. Ledge eyes. And you know what? I'm going to take it easy on the beavers during this drought. I'm only going to ask them to get this little water sloping situation on the crack here. That's it. Nothing else. Everything else is staying high priority. No that crazy maximum priority builds. Nout like that. But I will ask them to plonk 3 oaks in there, of course. Oh, and I've just thought, can I plant, please say yes, a coffee bush up in... No, damn it. So why didn't we sit back, relax, watch the beavers exercise, and build this fresh new water slurping solution? And fingers crossed store up a lot of materials during this drought here. That's why I'm not asking them to do much. I want things to get stored up. And I reckon it's been a cracking little episode this. We got a decent bit of progress made. I will say from my perspective, I've designed a big overspill for the top of the reservoir. And most of that would have been cut out. So this video should definitely be under an hour for yous. And fingers crossed this is a tidy little angle where you get to see all the different types of pumpkins. I mean food that we're growing here in Cavey. As well as watching all the beavers keep fit and have fun, of course. But yeah, now we are flying along now. And there's not that long left in Daily Cavey. I mean, to be quite honest with you, I don't know how many episodes are left. We're entering the late game, end game situation, but there's still a bloody hell of a lot I want to do on this map. And we both know this is all going to be wrapped up around about Update 7's release. So I'm going to have to pull me finger out and get all of the sheet done. And come back tomorrow to find out what part of that sheet gets done then. Let hoodlers.